Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to the podcast.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. You will not believe what I'm drinking today. Just got back from the grocery store and I bought a hibiscus a watermelon and hibiscus soda that I don't usually have like any pop. I don't usually have a lot of sugar. So this is a little bit of a stretch for me. It's kind of sweet. Watermelon and hibiscus soda with a big, huge old ice cube with mint in it.
Nice. That sounds delicious.
Wow. It is delicious. And next time I'm going to put some gin in it. It is going to be fabulous. I just tasted it just a few seconds ago and thought, that'd kill it with some gin.
Oh,
so yeah, but I have too
nice.
much to do for gin today. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking coffee out of my Geely mug.
I love it.
Figured I need a little waking up today.
Okay, I want to start by talking about Mercury in retrograde. We always talk about this whenever it comes up. Everyone always sort of demonizes it on social media, and I feel like I'm the girl who's defending Mercury. I feel like I'm like the girl who's saying, no. It's okay. Mercury brings up all of the it stirs up the communication, allows people to really like strengthen their communication skills. But also for me, it just is a reminder for me to pay more attention, be in the now, like, and be very mindful of what I'm saying, who I'm emailing, who I'm texting,
what you're thinking.
What I'm thinking, like all of these things, like really, it's like this opportunity for me to fine tune myself.
Yep.
And so, and I know that there's probably going to be technological things that happen, but it's just an opportunity for me to feel them and just sort of go, oh, interesting. Okay. I'll take a step back. It'll give me more time to be mindful.
Right. It brings you in the moment.
Right. And it also allows me practice to not lose my shit over stupid stuff. So what happened today? We go to get on this podcast. I am not kidding you. I have the email that has the Zoom link in it, and it's flagged in my email. So I clicked on my flagged folder and poof, they all went. I have like 100 probably flagged messages. They're all gone.
Oops.
I didn't hit read on them. I don't know where they went, but I just thought, well, shit, that was interesting to watch. Like, poof. But it was an opportunity for me. I mean, a lot of times people would lose it. I remember a number of podcasts ago where you were saying that one of your patients lost all of her pictures, like important pictures, grad pictures or something, and she shit her pants, but she got them back. And that's what I kind of felt like. It was just like, whoa, well, all of those left. And so I messaged you and said, okay, Mercury, can you send me the link again? But also I thought to myself, there is nothing that I had saved that I had flagged that is detrimental to me.
Right.
I can get it all back. I don't know whether it was like, like recipes that I had saved or something, but it's not the worst case scenario. So that was one thing I wanted to start with. And the next thing is we are recording this on the 7th of April, and the 8th of April is the new moon, the solar eclipse. I just solar flares and the Devil's Comet.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I had to Google because I didn't know either. But the Devil's Comet, just the way that it looks in the air, it almost looks like it kind of has some horns. It's just the way that it the light that's around it.
Is that
And
why
I
everybody's losing their mind thinking the world's ending?
Yeah, but it's not, I mean, I read that it is like really same, what was it? Same height as a mountain. I can't remember. But I mean, a very, very large comet this is, and it's hurling towards Earth, but it's going to miss us.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we're shitting our pants over that. But this is what I read.
Okay.
I read that this shift is huge astrological shift.
Mm-hmm.
It allows us to bring up stuff that we are ready to let go of, that we've worked through. It's allowing us to kind of release that, and it's opening up a portal for us to have more clarity, go all in on things, see our soul's path, be able to really feel and hear and see and be like where we're meant to go.
Yeah.
So cool. Like, I just love that this is opening us up to sort of
Mm-hmm.
mending all of this
Yeah.
shit we've been going through, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Because it has been,
It's been a few years of
yeah, like
crap.
everybody's lost their minds.
Yes. And so I love this idea of like this moment on April the 8th as being the shift to start to heal.
Oh, I love that.
I love it so much too.
Mm.
What's also interesting, because I really love like seeing the signs.
Yeah.
I have for the last little bit seen, so I've heard podcasts, I've seen videos, I've seen like on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
reels on Instagram, podcasts, posts, all about getting to the end of your life and wanting to look back and see that you are so proud of yourself because you didn't shy away, you didn't hold back, you didn't wait for things to be perfect, and just really to look back on your life and be proud of what
Mm-hmm.
you've created.
Mm-hmm. Instead
And
of going, it's gone, it's over. I didn't do anything I wanted to do.
why did I hold myself back because
Yeah.
of what someone else thought?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I hold myself back because I wasn't a weight that I was comfortable with?
Yeah.
I didn't have the success that I was comfortable with. Why did I hold myself back? Why did I spend more time working like crazy
Mm-hmm.
for no extra money when I could have spent time with my family? I mean, like, I don't ever want
Yeah.
to look back with regret.
Mm-mm.
And yet, I still can feel myself holding back in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of the journey is to,
Yeah.
you know,
That
work on,
onion.
yeah, work on just sort of allowance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just feels like all of this is becoming clear to me. All of this is, it's not
Yeah.
a, no coincidences.
Mm-mm.
This is all being shown to me so that I can listen.
Yeah. Yeah. Get into
So
practice.
these were like amazing, amazing things that have been happening in the universe and in the universe of Sandra. So,
I love it. Yeah. Mercury started April 1st,
oh, yes.
which is the 18th anniversary of Paul and I purchasing the Feng Shui Training Center, which is crazy. And
It,
it hit me in a really weird way. The nudge to buy that school was so overwhelming to me. Like,
really?
it was just, I saw that it was for sale. I immediately called Paul. We did not have the money to buy that school. And I called him and I told him, and in my head, I was going, he's going to say, we don't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, he said, let's do it. And we decided we didn't want to get a loan for it because we didn't want to have a note to pay and feel like I've got to sign people up to pay this note because it would
Yes.
make us feel poor.
Right.
So I decided to just start telling all of my Feng Shui clients, this is what I'm doing. So if you know anyone that needs my services, please share my cards. It was a month. We paid cash for that school
Wow.
on April 1st. And I knew it was going to happen. I didn't concern myself with frantically trying to make it happen. It
Mhm.
was one of those things that I just felt, and I would act on the nudges as they would come through. And it hit me this week. If I had not done that, we would not be sitting here right now.
That's so true.
Not only that, but I wonder, where would I be?
Mhm.
Because it definitely started me in a different direction and opened my brain a little bit. But April 1st is always a good day because of that. But this year, we kicked off Mercury with it too. It was still a good day.
Find interesting about this whole story is that you still own it, but you don't currently run the Feng
Mm-mm,
Shui training school.
mm-mm.
And how many people would then look back and go, well, we shouldn't have done that, but you don't,
No.
right? Like it just, and I mean, I never do either. I look at investments that I've made. I look at things that I've done. I
Yeah.
mean, I have a half of an interior design diploma. I do not regret that at all.
Yeah.
At all. And I mean, I didn't finish it. But how many people hold themselves back because they think, well, I don't know that this is for me forever. Instead of just
It was a
going,
step.
right for me for right now.
Mhm. I mean, we made a lot of money.
Mhm.
So it was definite. We got our money back many times over. But I think things were needing to change, maybe updated some process. Internet was changing, and it was just like I was just sort of done with that. I've thought about picking it back up and doing some things with it, but it's been a thought. It hasn't been a, you've got to do this.
Nudge.
And if
Mhm.
it's not that feeling that moves me, then I'm trying to force something that's not meant to be there. But the eclipse is tomorrow. We're gonna get up and go work out and then go to this park in Leander and do a 5K. It's called Outrun the Sun. Isn't that so cute? So we'll do the 5K and then stay there if we want with everybody and watch the eclipse.
And will you be able to see it in Leander?
It
Because we can't
comes
see it
like
here.
right over us. Now, there's a chance of some cloud cover, so we don't know. I am anticipating it's going to be fine,
Uh-huh.
and it will be no matter what happens. Yeah, it is right over us. So,
I
and it was interesting. We were at Spanga the other night working out, and we'd gotten there a few minutes early. Our instructor, Norman, starts talking about the eclipse, and he said, "You're not going to believe this, but there are festivals where people go for the eclipse to have sex because they want to get pregnant during the eclipse.
why?
It's supposed to give the baby superpowers."
Oh,
Yeah. So,
well,
yeah,
don't do that, Leigh.
you don't have to worry about that. That is not happening. I thought that was so interesting. So I went back into the office the next day and I was telling one of my coworkers who's Hindu and she goes to class with us. I was talking to her about it. And she said, in our culture, we don't let the pregnant woman that we don't let them see the eclipse.
Well, interesting because I read in some cases, well, I don't know about the eclipse, but I was reading about the comets. In some cultures, the comets are bad. And in other cultures, comets are said to be like a messenger, a sign
Mhm.
from God, a sign from the past, like bring messages to you, and they're supposed to be good luck.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Oh, it's so interesting, I find.
And both of them are right.
Absolutely.
Because
I
if
believe
you
it.
think that if you get pregnant during this time frame, you're gonna have a baby with all these magical powers, you're going to see that in that baby,
Yes.
and you'll see their magic won't be
Yeah.
buried like ours, because
Yeah.
their parents are going to be like, this is who you are, instead of what's wrong with you, you know?
Right.
And and if you think something's bad for you, it's gonna feel like it is, and you're gonna create something that shows you you're right.
Wouldn't it be so cool to like go back in time? I mean, we can't, but like, or from this day forward, just to imagine everyone that's listening here, but to pay attention to thinking that every child was born on a day with magical powers,
Yeah.
what you would see in them,
Mhm.
because we miss our own gifts
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot of time parenting, and I used to say to my husband, like, the goal is not to be perfect here. The goal is to just not fuck them up too much. And it's
Just the right
really
amount.
just the right amount, just so that, they've got something to blame when they go to therapy later.
Sure.
That be me. But no, I think how different would it be if we looked for the gifts?
Mhm.
Like, really?
Mhm. I read a
Where
quote from Abraham earlier today, and it was talking about that. Like, if you would look at someone that maybe you have an issue with and that you're mad at and you are trying to fight with, and say, instead of saying all the things that you wanna say, just say, "I love you, and you're amazing, and you're perfect just like you are, and I know we're just both trying to find the way to get to where we're going," and just sending them love and acceptance. The
well,
quote
that
said,
would
if
be
you could say that to their face, or you could say that in your head, and they would still have the benefit. But really getting into a place of telling a different story about where you currently are with that person, because they're maybe driving you nuts
Mhm,
and you're not seeing their magic. But in all of us, even the ones we don't like,
mhm.
is the magic. And when we can start focusing on that, they'll feel it, and then we'll feel that way about them.
You know? Okay, this is a little woo. This is a little
Oh,
out
give
there.
me some woo.
I know. My son's ex-girlfriend was causing all sorts of problems for him. And it was an easy out for me to be pissed off at her and angry with her, and questioning why she would be causing all these problems. And one day I was driving and I had this overwhelming feeling to speak to her soul, like speak to her just in my car.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't pick up the phone and text her or call her, but I was driving and I just had this overwhelming feeling to say, you know what? I know you've had a hard life. And I'm really sorry that you had to go
Mm.
through all of that. And I really wish you well. And I hope that you heal. And like, it was the most cathartic moment for
That
me,
felt good for me,
even just listening to
just
me heal.
listening to that. Mhm.
I meant it 1,000%.
Yeah,
I
you
got
could
the
feel
feeling
that.
that I needed to do it, and I meant it. And it was a little bit of a longer conversation that I had with her soul. Everything subsided.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
was like it
Took your
allowed
anger
her to
away.
just release him.
Mhm.
It was, well, it took my anger away, but it like, she stopped causing problems for him. She just released him. It
She
was like,
felt that. Now
yeah,
she did not know that she felt that,
right.
but she
And
felt that.
that's what I believe.
Yeah. No, when Logan was in boot camp and we couldn't talk to him,
Mhm.
and it was tough for me as a mom to think about my baby out at boot camp with no access to people that loved him, on a ship. I'm guessing maybe they were in houses, but in my head, he was on a ship being worked like a dog with
Yeah.
little sleep and little food. And I mean, my heart would just ache for him. And when I would start to go that direction,
Mm.
I would start telling him, "You are so strong. You are so
Yeah.
focused. You can do hard things. We're going to see you so soon, but you're learning so much." And then I wrote to him every day. But
Yeah.
I had so many conversations. There were times that he was just heavy on my heart, and I
Yeah.
would start giving him a pep talk in my head.
Mhm.
And I don't know if he felt it, if he got it, but it made me feel so much better. And I don't
And
know that I've ever asked him, "Hey, when you were at boot camp, I would talk to you all the time. Did you feel it?
yeah, I
Did you hear
sometimes
me?"
yeah, I know.
But I think he did. I think he had to
I
have.
think feel it. A friend of mine, and her son was dating a girl who was she didn't feel was very good for him. He
Mhm,
started to pull away from the sports that he liked and the friends that he had been friends with for so long, and maybe not as bubbly as her son was, and it seemed like it was starting to affect him. And so
mhm,
I said to her, I had a naturopathic healer one time tell me that when they're asleep, you can speak to their soul, like in that same way. Like when you know that they're asleep and you're like, it's like, say 2 o'clock in the morning, that they're sleeping, you can speak to them and their soul will hear it and they will soak up everything that you're saying. So she did that every single night. Every single night when she knew that he was sleeping, because
mhm.
he was still at home at that time, she would start talking to him and say, you deserve everything. You deserve love. You deserve to be able to be with someone who will lift you up. And like she was really like giving him a pep talk,
Yeah.
and every single night. And they split about a month later, and
Wow.
he found the most wonderful girl
Oh.
after that, who is just like, my friend loves her so much, but she just brings the best out in him.
Mhm.
And instead of putting extra stress on
Yeah.
him and feeling not himself, he just lights right up around this girl. And he's been with her for like over a year now. But
Nice.
I would swear that it's like we hold ourselves back from just what we know or what we think. But why
Mhm.
can't if we can pray, why can't we speak
Yeah.
soul to soul, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And at the very bare minimum, we're putting greatness out into the universe
Yes. And it's creating peace within us.
within us.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely.
Because when we tell that story, we're opening ourselves up for that as well. We're
Mhm.
feeling it for them.
Yeah.
I had the coolest thing happen with a patient yesterday, a hypnotherapy patient. And, because I always talk before we start the session, kind of to find out about their week. And initially, her focus was weight loss. And it's shifted a bit. I mean, it's still weight loss and she's doing that, but she's really recognizing that she wants companionship.
Okay.
And I think she's about 60 and she's single and has been for a while. She had some rough couple of marriages, one really, really early, and then, one in her 30s, but maybe her 40s. But anyway, they didn't end well. And so she has this belief that men are bad and they treat you horrible and they cheat on you. And at this age, they're either going to be damaged or they're married. So
Okay.
I guess I got to give up.
Right.
Plus, I've got this weight on me. No one wants me. She's been able to put that aside for a minute. Not completely, but because now she's focused on the reason I can't have it is because of the man. And
Mm,
or because there's really no men. And starts telling me the stories of her exes and going, and you can feel the momentum building. Like
mm,
you can feel it getting gloomier and gloomier. And I'm going, okay, you need to stop this. We
Right.
got to get out ahead of it, because if you don't stop this, it's going to spin out of control.
Yeah.
And so I asked her if I could ask her a question, and she said, sure. And I said, well, do you know any men that are not like that?
Mhm.
And well, yeah, my brothers aren't like that. And I said, okay. I said, anybody else, or is it just your brothers? And then she started laughing. And it was enough to get her out of that story. And
Mhm.
then she starts talking about her weight, because that, well, let's forget about that. They're not going to want this.
Right.
And I started, because I've been having her look for things that she likes about herself. Find something that you can
Mhm.
appreciate. And so we're talking to her about that. And she is a beautiful woman. Here's what is crazy about this. She's gorgeous. She's fun. She's happy. She's like, you look at her and think, wow. And she doesn't see who she is. She didn't
Mhm.
see it yet. But she did say, well, people have always told me I had a pretty face. And then she starts going into, and one time, this guy, I'd never seen him before, randomly at the grocery store, just starts telling me how beautiful I am. He wasn't hitting on me. He walked off. It was just, I thought you should know. You are so beautiful. And
Wow.
and then she's telling me all
That's
of
like
these,
a random thing in the grocery store, isn't it?
right.
Like
And
not an awful thing, but like that's awfully random. Like,
yeah, and
wow,
it's these
that's
random
so
things
cool.
that happens to her. And so now her focus is there, and I'm
Mm.
seeing all of these memories come in, and I'm just sitting there letting her bask in that for a minute. And it was the coolest thing, because I was able, when she was done, to say, look what you did there. You notice where you were going, talking about your exes, and you saw how that was building. And she's like, yeah. And I said, once you got distracted and then started focusing on something that felt better, that you wanted to feel, look at how that just blew up. I said,
Right.
you did that with your focus. And
Mhm.
I think it blew her mind a little bit, because I've been telling her we do this. And I think she thought, yeah, whatever, Leigh. But she got to witness it out of
Mhm.
her own mouth, and then feel the feelings associated with it.
Yeah.
But I can't
Wow.
wait to see her meet somebody. She's had like 4 people ask her out that she's just shut the door on.
Oh
Because
no.
she's like, they're gonna see me in person and go, oh no. And I'm like, not if you walk in there like you own the place.
Right.
Like,
Right.
put something on your body that you feel badass in,
Mhm.
and then walk in there and own it. And don't go in there and say, I hope he likes me. Go in
Right.
there and say, I wonder if I'm gonna like him.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
Super
cool
fun to
story.
watch.
Wait, I can't wait to see what happens. Like you'll
I
have to
know.
keep updated because I want to know what happens for her, like how
Yeah.
things open up. Because when we can start to focus there,
Hmm.
like opportunities open up. It's just
Yeah.
like, when we start to work on our front entrance and we declutter and we take the boots away and the shoes away and all the things, and you can open up the front door,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, wow, the opportunities just start to show up. And
Yes.
I feel like she's just energetically
Hmm.
doing that,
Hmm. Yeah.
not just feng shui wise, but like energetically.
Hmm. Well, and learning to catch a thought before it gets too far ahead.
Hmm.
Is this really what I want to do today? Is this where I want to go?
Yeah.
If
Because
it
it does
excites
gain
you,
momentum. It does gain momentum,
oh,
like a
it
rolling
does.
stone, or not a rolling stone. I don't know, a mud ball. It's rolling down a hill or something.
Yeah.
Like it starts to go faster and faster and gets bigger and bigger until the
Hmm.
point where, like, holy, we've created our whole gloom and doom
Yeah.
situation that is really hard to chip our way out of.
Hmm. And we see it and feel it. And so we're in it at that point.
Yeah,
Abraham would
exactly.
say, time for a nap.
Yeah. True.
Yes. But on that note, we're out of time.
This was fun.
This was fun, but have a good one. Thank you, Sandra. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.